something new. I want something interesting. I want your opinions. I want to hear your thoughts. It's unique. You're not going to get this anywhere else. And so, when I come here every week with you, Rav, with Wade, everyone else, we come up with some really good stuff. We say, and it's sad that no one wants to participate and just calls us heretics and kafirs and apostates, and it's just like so stupid. It's just so
one thing that has led to a lot of the dissent on what I do is my approach towards messianics. Now, I didn't always have this approach towards messianics. I've been doing this for a while. I've been making videos since 2006 on YouTube, and in the beginning, my approach to Messianic Judaism was very similar to the counter-missionary approach. But I did something that most rabbis or most counter-missionaries don't do, and that's that I started debating many Messianics, having discussions. Right? I mean, I've spoken with Michael Brown probably 5 times on air already, and it forces me to remain intellectually honest. It's easy to attack a group if you never debate them, because you never have to defend yourself. You never have to modify your attack. But if you constantly have discussions with these people, it makes you kind of go back and say, well, I can't use that because he's going to use this. And then it helps you shape an airtight theology that makes sense to you and hopefully to others. It's got me to view Christians different, but it's not because I'm soft on Christians. My early videos were very anti-Christian, anti-Messianic, but it's because I'm no longer convinced of those arguments, not because I started to like Messianics or anything. I mean, I like all decent people, but because they can't hold water anymore. People can't debate Messianics anymore using Let's Get Biblical from Tovia Singer. That's already 10 years ago. These guys have already defeated those arguments in a public sphere. I'm not talking about the guys that Tovia Singer debates. He debates Presbyterians and Methodists. I mean, Messianics and Hebrew rooters. So this is why, as someone who I think I've discussed with more Christians or Messianics than anyone on YouTube, I want people to know that it's not that I'm a heretic or anti-Torah. It's easy to call people names if you don't debate them. That's the actual litmus test. It's weird how some things never get old, right? In the street, people could talk all the crap they want. It comes down to if the guy can kick your ass or not, right? That's what it boils down to. And it boils down to the same thing in the religious world. People could talk all the crap they want. If they can't debate you or if they're scared to debate you, that's a test. If someone has a rabbi they look up to and that rabbi is scared, I mean, forget about a debate. To have a recorded discussion with the rabbi he disagrees with, just a respectful discussion, recorded obviously, to see if he could call you heretic on the air with you being able to respond. That should be the test. I mean, that really should make me the most popular rabbi in the world, the most likable rabbi in the world. It doesn't. I don't know. I guess people don't care about what makes more sense or who's actually right, but who looks more accepted.
I was just going to say it's just easier to, what people enjoy is making themselves feel superior to other people. And what makes it even better is to demonize people. You see this a lot, like liberals demonizing Republicans. It doesn't matter who the person is, they have to demonize them. It makes other people feel superior to them. People always are going to do that. That's why you have bullies pick on someone smaller or whatever, because they want to feel superior, even if they're wrong.
So one thing all these guys have in common, these are people who don't belong to a Jewish community. It's impossible to belong to a synagogue and feel that the rabbi agrees with you 100%. You have to be an airhead to think that every rabbi who has a long beard and a black hat is going to agree with you. You know how many different opinions there are, from Satmar to Bukharian to Breslov to Litvaks. There's so many different opinions on here. For someone to say this rabbi is kosher and that rabbi is not, you know how stupid that sounds? Who the heck agrees with the rabbi 100%? Even from a Christian perspective, what Christian could say that he agrees with the pastor 100% unless he's completely just part of the herd? Any free-thinking person is going to have disagreements. I don't agree with everything John teaches. John doesn't agree with everything I teach, but we have the base in common. The base is Torah. And clearly, we're decent people. I mean, if someone agreed with me 100% and the guy was a jerk, I wouldn't want nothing to do with him. So as long as you're a decent person and we have something to unite on, which is source material, oral law, written law, boom, that's it. Everything else we could disagree on. But this approach that if you disagree with my rabbi, you are wrong, And it's always people who think the same. Rabbi Mizrahi, Yaron Reuven, Alona Nava. One is a student of the other. But the vast majority of Jews don't think like they do. And I'm not against what they're saying. I'm just saying that's their approach. This is why I know that I would come up on top in a discussion with them, because I wouldn't attack them. I'll be like, everything you say, other rabbis say. You're not saying anything new, but everything I say, other rabbis also say. Maybe not their rabbis. I don't make anything up. The Rambam and the Talmud, we all have these sources. But again, these guys only really disagree with people and bash them on spiritual matters. This is why they attack Rabbi Manis Friedman. They're not saying that he's going against halakha, or they may say that stupidly, but it's because he makes a statement about spirituality that they don't like. But that's not going to convince a rabbi. They'll be like, so what is spirituality, or how we view spirituality would determine whether you're a heretic or not? Does he break halakha? Or does he break the pashat in the Torah? No. So what's the issue? Oh, like you have a problem with just anyone who disagree with you. Oh, well, then you're just a child. I could imagine how other areas in life that deal with relating to people, how they deal with that. They must have almost no friends, or all their friends are just zombies who just follow them. It's cool to have friends who don't always agree. And then you guys could bounce ideas with each other, and one person will convince another person if the argument is good enough. But no, I don't want to discuss with everyone. It means, I'm married to my ideas and I don't want to change. Man, I'm willing to become a Chabadnik. I'm willing. This is why I interview Chabadniks, and because I want to hear their arguments. But never do I call them idolater, heretic. I'll be like, well, this says that, but it says this here. But doesn't this make more sense? It's always a healthy back and forth. Oh, no, I don't want to talk to Asher. People come on, man.
That's one thing I really appreciate about you, Rav, is I've talked to other people at some of the synagogues that I go to occasionally, and I've said, listen, I'd really like you to watch a few videos of this Rabbi Asher Meza, because you might, if you Google his name, you're going to find almost mixed reviews. It's like it seems that people are really against him, but the people that are seem to be more glued to tradition than halakha. And I feel like you bring such a realistic approach to things that sometimes when I feel like I'm almost overwhelmed by the intake of of what Judaism has to offer from the widespread variety of rabbis on the internet, when I don't actually have a rabbi for myself, sometimes you demystify things and actually help me get back on track. And I want to thank you for that, honestly. And I saw that I've seen you respond to some of the people who've attacked you, and I've waited to see that response, because I thought, how are you going to respond to these attacks? And I've always been so relieved to see how you do.
I appreciate
respond
it.
without feeling defeat. It's truly inspiring. I just want you to know that. I mean, I know very little over here, except for I get inspired by your realistic approach to not just Judaism, but especially Judaism.